Thank you so much for tuning in to the Awakening with Katina Love and segment on Inspiration Sunday. I am Katina Love, your host and producer of this talk show. The Awakening with Katina Love is your go-to resource to learn about spiritual enlightenment, the law of attraction, creating financial abundance, and natural health. I can be reached at love@katinalove.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Awakening with Katina Love, where there are over 60 shows to download and listen to. We have a returning guest today, Christina Dukes, your success and manifestation coach. And the subject we're going to talk about today is manifesting abundance by following your life's purpose. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe to her YouTube channel, Christina Dukes. And you can visit her website at www.christinadukes.com. Christina, thanks so much for being a guest again today on the show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing really awesome. Thank you. I appreciate your invitation.
You are so welcome. It doesn't even seem like it's been almost a year since we talked and we did the show.
Tell me about it.
I'm trying Sway.
It sure was.
I know. I just wanted to share real quick what I took away from Feng Shui, from the show. How you talked about, putting money in your wallet and appreciating your money and smelling your money. And actually, that video that you did on YouTube is what led me to you.
Wow. That was that video, I think, went viral or something. Like
it did.
30,000 something.
Oh my God, that is amazing. That is just so beautiful. So beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it did. I mean, a lot of people were inspired, and a lot of people did manifest money, and it was really helpful for a lot of people. So that's the one thing I'm mostly grateful for, that I was able to help people and their, breaking through in their money stories,
Absolutely. That is just awesome. So can you share with us the work that you do and what's new? What's new with you? What's going on with you?
So, I'm Christina Dukes, of course. I'm a success coach, law of attraction teacher, and motivational speaker. So primarily, I work with executive women and a few brave men, helping them to redefine their passions and outside of corporate as coaches, speakers, and entrepreneurs. And so, for me, law of attraction, has been my own, personal journey, right? I didn't start here. I, was in corporate and went through this horrendous breakup, and that was sort of my catalyst and, aha moment that helped me kind of, find my way into my own purpose and pursuing my passion. And so when it comes to abundance and money, I have a book I created called The 27 Money Beliefs That Are Keeping You Broke. Just like a lot of people, I struggled with my money story too. I struggled with relationships. I struggled with love. I struggled in my business. I have been there before. I struggle with all those things too. And just like a lot of people, I saw a movie called The Secret. I didn't read the book. I saw the DVD or the movie on Netflix. And watching that film was completely life-changing for me. After watching that film, it was kind of this light bulb went off. Oh wow, these people are thinking all this positive stuff, and then things are happening, right? But in The Secret, there was always for me. It was sort of just show me exactly how to do it. How did you do it? Because some of the steps that they're giving in the movie, you can manifest with it, but there's important steps that are being left out, right? And so
I see.
For myself, I kind of took this journey, and so I've been on a law of attraction journey since about 2011. So I've been on this journey for about 6 years, and taking time to really delve into law of attraction. So let's kind of talk about some of the things that I've manifested with law of attraction. We'll talk about what law of attraction exactly is, and I know a lot of times people are does it really work, right? We're trying to manifest things. but nothing's really sort of like budging, moving, happening. So like for me recently, I've manifested love. I manifested my husband into my life using law of attraction. That was one of the most amazing experiences, to be honest. And manifested a new car. As you know, I just got my new BMW.
Yes.
It was
so
amazing. Yeah, and I had actually forgot about that when I was trying to manifest that one. So that one was a good surprise, right?
Wow.
Yes.
It was in your escrow, right?
Yeah, what did you say?
It was in your vibrational escrow.
Right, exactly. The things I want to manifest. I totally forgot about that when it came to fruition. I'm like, I thought it was manifested. I was like, after I got it, it kind of hit me like, oh, wait, I remember a picture of a car just like this I had somewhere around or something like that. And I went and I searched for it and I found it and I was like, oh, wow, like I did. This actually happened. I manifested it. And also I just finished my, it's April, just finished my 2016 taxes. I had an amazing year in revenue from coaching, consulting. So it's amazing because using law of attraction, you can attract so many things that you do want. I would definitely say now, after going through kind of, I say, some of the quote unquote rough years, and now understanding and knowing how to master law of attraction, it is a beautiful creation process, and I'm so grateful I discovered it, and I'm so grateful I'm able to teach law of attraction to other people, and being able to see them use it in their lives too is just crazy. Okay, so you want to talk about law of attraction really quick? Like,
yes.
That's my story. Yes. I try to be very transparent with people.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times, when we are finding teachers on our path, just give it to us straight. Just give us what it is. And so I just try to be transparent with people, because a lot of times I want you to know that it is possible and it can happen in your life too. So law of attraction is just really all about attracting what you want in life. It is one of the 12 universal laws. I won't go too deep into the 12 universal laws, but it's just like the law of gravity, the law of compensation. It's one of 12 universal laws. So whether we believe we are using it or we don't believe that we are using it, we are still using it. It's one of those uncontrollable things that we are just naturally using. It's one of the kind of like, think about your life, and it's just ruled by 12 governing laws, right? Like we think about law of attraction, law of gravity. There's nothing that we can do right here on Earth to kind of like get rid of gravity unless we have devices or different things. We naturally obey the law of gravity without even trying, unconsciously, right? And so even with law of attraction, we are still using law of attraction and attracting things into our life unconsciously, because this is not a law that we can necessarily change or manipulate, but that we must work with. And so the more conscious we are of the law of attraction and how we're using that in our daily lives, and where we are within our experience, especially if we're an adult that has control over our lives, then we can begin to see how we can use law of attraction to create what it is we really want, right? So let's think about some of the ways that people are using law of attraction unconsciously in ways that don't really give them what they want. Think about it like this. Let's take, for example, a person that wakes up in the morning and they're going to work, and on the way to work, they've got, maybe they woke up late, they have road rage, they didn't have breakfast, you know what I'm saying? Like, just a spiral of effects. And then, they're honking at people, throwing up the middle fingers, and they're going, and then they go to work, and it's a pretty bad day, then they go home, they argue with their spouse. You're using law of attraction by just waking up in the morning and not really setting the tone for how the day will be. You're just kind of going through life. But it's really about taking a moment to just be at peace with where you are and going out and having these sort of great experiences, right? Because think about it, if you just got up in the morning and you said to yourself, this is going to be an awesome day because you're awesome, right?
Yeah.
Talking to yourself. And you go out and you begin attracting experiences that are going to reflect what you're speaking into yourself. And so the most powerful tool that we have in the world is the one thing that we have been using since the beginning of creation and that we will be using until the end of time is the power of speaking things into existence. So just like when God created the heavens, the earth, the stars, it was a creation process. And it always says that God said, let there be light. So our speaking is a creation process. So we have to become more conscious of what we are not only speaking but also thinking, because thoughts become things, right? Because our thoughts are also there too. It's like those bubbles. We may not be saying it out of our mouth, but there's still thoughts that we're having. And so the more that we're able to control these thoughts, control the things that are coming out of our mouths, the more we can begin to have a greater experience in our lives regardless of where we are. Now, I don't care if you're in the most destitute of financial situations. I don't care if you are in a remote village somewhere in Africa. If you have access to information like this, you have the ability and the power to use law of attraction to begin attracting an experience that you want. So now the fun part is begin thinking about, what do you want? I think that's a place where a lot of people struggle. So when I'm helping my clients, in understanding law of attraction and understanding how they can better use it, do you know what comes up? Big roadblocks. And what are these big roadblocks? Well, these big roadblocks are really like our unconscious and subconscious feelings of how we feel about ourselves, how we've been taught to feel about ourselves. And so what happens is a lot of time is a lot of low self-esteem comes into place. Right?
I get it.
And it's not really our fault, but a lot of times, even when it comes to money, you may be, in one of the video that actually went viral, I was smelled some money, and people said it was ridiculous, right? Some people were like, this is amazing, right?
It is amazing. It is.
And it does work. So
it does.
People that it maybe didn't necessarily work for, maybe what happened is when they smell that money, somewhere deep subconscious thought came out and told them, you're not good enough and this will never work for you. You never manifest money. You're always broke. You never have enough money. Everyone in your family's broke, so you're broke too. It's a generational curse. All these negative things just come to the forefront and block the power of God that was kind of operating in our law of attraction working. We just, like, you ever met someone that just killed the joy?
Oh, yeah. Try to get away from them, right?
Yes, at that moment, that's you. You need to get away from yourself, right? So how do we get away from ourselves?
Right.
Because we're almost our worst enemy. Because all these negative thoughts are coming into place. Or we meet a good man, and then we're like, oh, well, all men ain't SHIT, or I'm not find love, or nobody in my family is married, or I'm not good enough, and I'm not pretty enough, and I'm not this enough, and I'm not that enough. All these things begin coming forward and completely just block our blessing. This could have been a great man, and you scared him away because of your insecurities, because of your low self-esteem.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
We do it in our jobs, in our relationships, in our finances, in our careers. And it's interesting because in law of attraction, it's really just energy. We're energy, right? We eat food to give us energy. We need energy to live. We're giving energy, receiving energy. Everything sort of has energy in it, because if you really think about it, everything has the power of God in it, and that is energy, right?
Yes, it is.
So when we're at this place where we're like, okay, I'm putting things out there, and why am I getting these bad things back? But then you got to think about what you're putting out, because if you're going out saying things like all men ain't SHIT, you may in fact be attracting that. If you go out saying, I'll never have enough money for this, or I'll never have enough money for that, guess what? You probably never will, right?
Right.
So it's really intricate process of really reprogramming ourselves, getting ourselves in the right support systems, aligning ourselves with the right people that can help us to take ourselves to the next level. Even me as a success coach, I've had to work with several coaches throughout my career in order to improve my craft. Think about it like this, right? Like Beyonce has a singing coach, a voice coach, a dancing coach. So people have these different people in their lives to help them take themselves to that next level, because there are some things that we just can't do on our own, right? So I'm very thankful that I recognized in my process when I got fed up of being dumped, I got fed up of being broke, I got fed up of being, uncertain in my purpose and who I was, I had to make that move to really get help and find the right person to take me to that next level. And for me, that was one of the greatest investments and things I could have ever done for myself. A lot of times we feel the need to justify why we invest in ourselves, why we feel that we are important, but you know what? We people do invest in themselves. They invest in, our hair, our nails, all these exterior things, but sometimes we don't invest in the inside, right? That's the inner work. Because guess what? Even beautiful women get cheated on. Even fit women get cheated on. So it happens, right? Broke doesn't have a demographic of how it looks. Right?
That's so true.
It can look a multitude of ways. So when we begin thinking about ourselves as investors, God is an investor because He invested in us enough to allow us to have this life and be able to control this experience. But we are always trying to, take care of the material needs and not take care of you. And whether that's for you meditation or seeing a therapist or having a coach or working with someone to take you to the next level in your career, in your business, or wherever it is that you want to go, I always say there's no reason to justify why you want to invest in yourself and why you are not the most important thing. Because remember this, think about it like this. When we want to go further in our careers, we will go and we'll take a class, right? We'll go with another degree or a certificate.
Right.
But when it comes to us and our businesses and in our life, who helps us take control of what we're doing? So one major thing I help my clients realize is that you are the CEO of you. Right?
Yes.
So when you're the CEO of you, you're running this ship right here. And on this ship, you've got to decide, just like you're going out to apply for a job, they've got a job description of what every role within their organization does and what that looks like. So when it comes to our own lives and our finances and our love and our business and our spirituality and our health and wellness and our family, are we taking time to write out job descriptions of what we are expecting of ourselves in these different areas of our lives? That's full control. That's what success and mastering law of attraction is really about. Now, there's a few basic principles in law of attraction I feel that people really struggle with. Okay, and these are really simple, and you would think that people have them already, and they say these things, but the thing is, are they really using them? And those few basic principles are faith, belief, and trust in God or higher power, okay? And those are the things I find that people struggle with the most. They say they have faith, but but do they really believe in themselves?
Right. That's so true. That's so true.
You say, they say that they trust in God. They say they trust the angels. They say they trust, everything that is wonderful in this world, but the big question is, do they really have trust? And if they did have trust, they wouldn't worry if the law of attraction works or if it doesn't work. What they're doing is they've already written out that positive experience, right? And they know that they're going to attract that. So a lot of times we spend time worrying about, does the law of attraction work? And we miss out on taking the opportunity of just writing these things out that we want and begin taking action. See, the law of attraction is really about the law of attracting action. If there's no action in law of attraction, you can have every wish that you want.
Right. Got to take action.
Law of attraction. Exactly. So when you're using law of attraction or the law of attracting action into your life to be successful is really about taking that first step to get what you want. So if you know where you are, you're discontented. Say, for example, you want to lose weight or you want to work out, and you know the first step for you is to go maybe talk to a personal trainer or look at some videos on YouTube. You've got to take a first, right? So the name of the game here is really just taking your power back. So how do you take your power back? Well, you sit down with a pen and a notebook, and you figure out what's going on in each of these areas of your life, and then you decide what you want. So a simple exercise that I'm going to give that you guys can, do tonight to kind of help you take control of some of the things that are going on in your life. Number one, you're going to write down 3 desires that you have. So maybe those desires are manifest more money. Maybe number 2 is get my finances in order. Maybe number 3 is fix my relationship. Then what you're going to do is you're going to write out 3 actions that you can take tomorrow to make to make a change or a simple action you can take toward manifesting your desire. So the number one thing, like we said, was manifest more money. So maybe the action you can take tomorrow is feng shuiing your wallet, which is cleaning out your wallet, getting all the junk out of it, putting some cash in your wallet. Maybe that's smelling your money. Number two, maybe that's getting your finances in order. So maybe the action you can take tomorrow is getting all your bills out, getting them organized, make a Google sheet of all your bills, and get them organized so you have a financial template for yourself, right, of money coming in and money going out. Number three is maybe you want to improve your relationship. So maybe a couple actions you can take is writing out, if you're currently in a relationship, maybe some changes you want in your partnership. Or if you're not in a partnership, you could write down some things that you do want in your partnership. Or maybe you could start a list of what you want in a life partner and begin adding to that as you go along, right? The next thing that you're going to write down is how you want to feel tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow you want to feel successful. So what you're going to do after that is you're going to write down, I'm successful, as many times as you can until your hand gets tired. Or you're going to write out I am statements about you, or 100 things that are amazing and awesome about you. Focus on the good things about you. Essentially, everyone has embedded in them some low self-esteem. It's just that some people who are really successful try to counteract that by writing out the fact that they are amazing and focusing on the positives, because we all have negative thoughts. Let's just be realistic about it. There's been a time and point in everybody's life that they haven't felt so great about themselves, right? So it's natural. It's a part of life. You're not the only person struggling with this out here. Everybody struggles with it at some point. The thing is what we do when these things happen. And so I want you to take control of it, okay?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Can I ask you?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, if someone is brand new to this and they're desiring more abundance, but they want to follow their purpose and their passion in life, what is this? Are these the steps that they can take as well, or are there any more things that they can do?
And so one thing I would definitely say is if you know you're not living in your passion, one of those desires that you should write down is to figure out how to live in that passion. You know what you're passionate about, right? Like for me, I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about speaking. I'm passionate about traveling. So I do those things. So if that was what I was passionate about and I was not doing it, I would darn sure write those down as one of my desires. Does that make sense? And maybe the action that I need to take tomorrow is, if I want to attract more abundance in my business, maybe my action I need to take tomorrow is find a business coach. Or maybe my action I need to take tomorrow is to call some prospects. Maybe I actually need, there's always a corresponding action that you can take for your desires. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Take some time and brainstorm it out, because a lot of times we're living in the, I don't know how to do it, but, you do know how to do it. You just need to get in tune with yourself so you can get it done.
Absolutely, because abundance is available to all of us, just like you were saying before. And true abundance, it comes because money follows passion and purpose, right?
Right.
It's not the other way around.
Passion and purpose. Yep.
You can be making a lot of money, but maybe you're not happy. Maybe you want to transition and start doing what you really love doing. You can start taking action. They can start taking action steps to get to where they want to be, right? And that's where you come in at.
Right, and where I come in is I help you organize all those thoughts. You got a million thoughts going on. We've all been there. I help you organize those thoughts into Google calendars and all those wonderful things, and create task lists and help you get, excuse my language, but just get shit done, right? Because a lot of times we have all these amazing things we want to do, and we've been spinning our wheels on our own, and we're tired of spinning our wheels, right? There comes a time and place, listen to this, that every successful person has some type of strategist, advisor, coach, somebody. Oprah had 4. She created a whole network with her coaches, right? So,
wow, that's amazing.
Right? That is amazing. And so when you think about it, at the end of the day, in order for Oprah to become who she is, there was a support team behind her. You see who her support team is. And those people have helped her get to where she is. So my question to you is, who's behind you?
Yes. And
when you're the CEO of you begin thinking different, right? So So adopt that. You are the CEO of you. You control what's going on in your world, right? You're the Chief Executive Officer of Katina Inc., right? So you're in control of everything that is happening in your space. So take control of it and make it fun.
Absolutely.
And most important thing about passion, quickly, is when we're thinking about passion, is to be happy where you are. You should be happy in your work. So if you're not happy in where you are in your current workspace, if you're not happy about that, you need to begin thinking about ways of finding happiness in that. Maybe you can't quit your job right now. Just like even with my clients, I don't let them quit their jobs right away. How are they going to pay me, right? But what we do is we create a transition strategy for them, because really when you're becoming an entrepreneur, what you're really just doing is transitioning identity. Just like when a woman's pregnant, she's transitioning identity into a mother, or people are getting married, they're transitioning identity into husband and wife, right? So in our lifetime, we transition identities a lot. So sometimes we do need others to help us in that transitioning process. And that's where I come in and helping my clients.
That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. So would you like to share like a quick testimonial of how you help someone to bring abundance into their life?
Sure. I mean, I guess when we're thinking about bringing abundance into our lives, and so the way I help people that I've worked with or my clients is we look at different ways in what they already have that they can attract more abundance. So the abundance isn't just going to fall out of the sky. It can happen. I'm not saying that it won't. But a lot of times there are seeds that we have had to plant in order to be, reaping. Just like if you want to win the lottery, you have to buy a lottery ticket. That's sowing a seed to get something back, right? And so a lot of times, if we're not sowing seeds, how are we going to expect to get anything back? So with my clients, what I'm really teaching them how to do is how to plant seeds. So maybe, like for example, I had a client, her name's Dr. Shola. She's a medical doctor. She's now a life coach and a public speaker and a best-selling author. And so initially when she came to me, she's like, Christina, I want to sell more books, right? But the thing is, in order for her she wanted to attract more abundance and sell more books, right? But the thing wasn't just about selling more books. The thing was about her having social influence, about her spreading her message, having a message so that she could go out into the marketplace and attract clients, attract more book sales, diversify her income. And that is how you attract abundance. You attract more abundance with strategy. And so like with her, not only did she double her book sales, but she just recently launched her coaching business. She's got like 6 new clients after I think like 3 months. She's doubled her income. She's left full-time medicine. She's launched a social media marketing business. She's coming out with a new book. Have her coming out with books once a year. And so these were strategies that we use in order to increase her influence within the marketplace. That's how you attract abundance. So you've got to plant many seeds. It's about planting strategic seeds, right? And deciding what you want. And most of my clients, that's what we're doing, whether they want to become coaches or build their coaching business or get more speaking gigs or gain more influence as an author or gain more influence in their social networks. That is something that's always possible, because that is what brings more abundance. Does that make sense? So
absolutely.
A lot of times it's really about the strategy. So we can write down on a sheet of paper, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant. And that would be great, too, because it's getting our mindset and the conditioning of that. But we have to have strategy to back that up. So the main things about attracting abundance are going to be mindset, strategy, and achievable actions. Those are the things that help you actually bring abundance into your life.
That is amazing. That is truly amazing. I have to ask you this question. As a world traveler, how has traveling helped you as an entrepreneur? Like, I see you, I look up, you're in Africa, you're over in London. That is just awesome.
So traveling, yes, is something that I manifest with law of attraction. I don't, when I travel, I don't really tend to worry about where am I going to go next or worry about traveling. It's always I need to be prepared. And so some people are like, well, you're so lucky you get to travel all the time. Well, yeah, luck exists, but I think luck is really where opportunity and preparation meet. Because if you're not prepared when an opportunity arises, then, you know, you're not going to be prepared to take it. So it's really about being prepared, right? So when I travel, it's like just a great experience for me. I love traveling. As you see, I'm a talker. I meet so many new people. I just see the possibilities of the world. I see the uniqueness of God. It really helps me to expand my horizons. It's a great time for me to also kind of disconnect and be present. And I will honestly say, like, traveling, it really inspires me, honestly, because every time I travel, it really just, and I don't know, like, I just feel so inspired seeing people, you know, moving around or people in different environments. So I think everyone should travel the world.
Because we learn so much.
People, you do. Yeah. You get to see other people, and it just makes you think a little different, right?
Yeah. Have a different perspective on life, and it's just a good thing to have that diversity. Just, you know, just from being where you are and where you live, and, you know, your little circle, you know, your normal routine. Just getting out of that routine and getting out in the world more. It's just,
It'll make you feel different about your environment. And it doesn't matter if it's a world trip or a local trip, but if you know a world trip is something that you want to do, not only like sticking that on your vision board, but actually taking the action to figure out how you're going to make that happen, or committing to a date and make no excuses. Start saving the money now, and, you know, let it be a non-negotiable. You know, like, that's something that you just can't touch because traveling is important to you. So don't let it go to anything else.
Right.
You know, like, it's really about discipline if these are things you want to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. So can you share again the services that you offer and products if you have any of those too?
Absolutely. So I have coaching programs, strategy sessions, online courses in law of attraction, business, love, and success. And some of the tools that I use within my coaching platforms are law of attraction, astrology, and we use the Doreen Virtue Angel cards, which I find are pretty accurate when advising my clients. I love them. Because, you know, you got to think about it like this. God is present in everything, so we got to bring him into our businesses too and get some guidance on what we're doing and where we're going. So those are the tools that I use. And so a free download I have right now is the ebook, The 27 Money Beliefs That Are Keeping You Broke. And you can download that at www.27moneybeliefs.com. And let's see, if they want to get in contact with me via my website, ChristinaDukes.com. I'm on YouTube, which I'm pretty popular on. You can find me at Christina Dukes. Also Facebook, I'm very present there. But I think the funnest place to connect with me more on a personal and frequent level is my private Facebook community, the Success Magnet. So we do a live Q&A every week all about law of attraction, business, and love. So that would be the funnest place, most definitely.
Awesome. So thank you so much for everything that you shared today. I'm so grateful for you. I've been following you. I think it's been almost 2 years now, and it just doesn't seem like it's
the time's been flying, I'm telling you.
I know, and I'm just telling you right now that I really am grateful for you. You've helped me so much in my spiritual path and just in my business path and all of that. And just keep doing what you're doing because you are a blessing to this planet. There is no doubt you are a blessing from God. And just
I really appreciate
I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, darling. Okay, have an awesome day, okay?
Yes, you too. And thank you so much for tuning in to The Awakening with Katina Love. Namaste.